Hello, everybody, and I'm coming to you from the Marco Island Center for the Arts. My name is Hyla Crane, and I'm the Executive Director. And this week, and probably some other times moving forward, we are looking at the art of conversation. Well, one way in which people are talking to each other through discussion or interviews is in the world of podcasts. Now, some of you are wondering, what is a podcast? And I've heard of them, but how would I access one? How do I find one that I like? Well, I have to tell you, I had to have somebody do a little research for me because I follow some podcasts, but I tend, if I'm interested in somebody, I go to their website and then I access their podcast there. But there are other ways you can do it that are really convenient. Why podcasts? Well, I don't know about you, but I am sort of exhausted from excessive screen time, television, my computer, my smartphone, constantly looking at screens. Sometimes when I go home or when I want to relax, I just want to close my eyes and listen to somebody. Listen to something that's interesting. Learn something. Or perhaps sort of feel like I did when I was a child and my mom read me a bedtime story. Sometimes it's nice not to have to look. It's nice to just listen. So let's learn a little bit about podcasts. Now, how do you listen to a podcast? For me, it's pretty easy because I have an iPhone. And on your iPhone, well, there is actually a little icon here that says podcasts. So you hit it and boom, you can search for podcasts, you can listen to podcasts, very easy. But you're saying to me, hey, Hyla, I've got an Android. How am I going to access podcasts? Well, then you may have an app on your Android like Spotify or Pandora or TuneIn or iHeartRadio that you can use to where you can listen to podcasts. And some platforms, well, they have their own listening apps, such as Public Radio. Some podcast networks will have their own apps, and a major or international media company can offer listening apps. I didn't know that. Now, if you don't have any of these apps, well, there are some podcast apps you might want to check out and you might want to download. Some of the popular ones that we found out are Anchor or Podbean, also Podcast Republic or Overcast or Podcast Addict or Stitcher. It's just a few. And each has its own pros and cons, but the basic functions are going to be the same across the board. Now, how are you going to find podcasts? Right now in the world, there is so much content. Between all of the channels on our TV and Netflix and Amazon Prime and YouTube, which we use a lot as well too, there's so much that we can watch, we can learn, we can listen. The whole digital world has just exploded. So how are we going to help you find the podcasts that are of interest to you? Well, many apps have multiple selections to search, such as a suggested podcast, featured, popular, trending, new, or noteworthy. You have to find the ones that are right for you. Me, I like to listen to conversations, and I like ones that are inspirational. I need a little pick-me-up these days, but there's some that are really funny, and that would not be bad either. Now, once you've found either a show or a host or a topic that you're interested in, you can start listening. And listening can happen in two ways. Either by downloading the podcast, so you're going to download it so you would have it, say, on your phone. And once it's downloaded, you would be able to take it with you anywhere. It wouldn't be dependent on Wi-Fi or access to the internet. It would just be with you. So you would download it, you could listen to it while you're in your kitchen, and then you want to take a walk, you take it out with you, you listen to it there, or in your car. Streaming also will work, but it's going to rely on Wi-Fi or cellular. connection. So if you start screening and you get outside of a place where you're connected, you may not be able to at that point in time. But, if you're just going to be listening in your house, that'll work too. Now, we're going to move along. I have a cheat sheet here if you haven't guessed. And what we're going to do, my friends, is actually download our cheat sheet and make it available to people who want to learn a little bit more. And I have to give thanks to our staff member, Dustin, our administrative coordinator, who was the person who put this together. It's really good. It helps to be a little younger than I am to put it together. How are you going to subscribe to a podcast? Well, you're going to start hearing, please subscribe, please subscribe. In fact, if you're watching this right now, you even see a subscribe button right there on the screen because we want people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. One of the advantages of subscribing to a podcast is that the new episodes of any show that's released will automatically download to your device in your podcast app. So you're never going to miss something. If you're following somebody and you really like what they're doing or you really want to make sure you hear all of what they have to say, it's going to be there. Now, subscribe makes it sound like you're going to be paying for something. No. For podcasts, the overwhelming majority of shows are free to listen to. Subscribing is referring to the automatic download of new content as described above. So we've learned a little bit about podcasts, and what we're doing yesterday, we were speaking with different podcasters to introduce you to this wonderful art of conversation and the art of just being able to relax and listen. So please continue to check us out on Art Center Live, coming to you generally on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. And please enjoy your podcasts.